How's it going, everyone? This is Admiral Wright and welcome to another video. As you can see, today we are going over Sea of Thieves tips and tricks. This will be part 1 of our series. Today we'll be focusing on all 4 of the generic skeleton types and how to defeat them. And before we get into it, if you have any questions for me, leave a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe if you end up liking my content. Kicking it off with our golden skeletons. They can be spotted on a bounty map by some key signature details. That would be crowns or pieces of gold, jewelry, anything like that you can see on the skeleton. Now, golden skeletons, while at half the speed, are very strong. Swords practically do 0 damage, but they do have some key weaknesses, one of those being splashing them with water. A skeleton can be rusted over if it's raining, if they're walking along the beach in that water, or if you throw a bucket of water on them. This makes them susceptible to all gunfire, cannon fire, anything. Now, I know they have a strength against swords, but a weakness against guns, but their biggest weakness has to be firebombs. As you can see, I've got 7 or 8 here. 1 firebomb, and they're all depleted. No bucket of water needed. Lastly, for our golden skeletons, their metal clanking feet will make this obnoxious sound wherever they go, making them much easier to find than any other skeleton type. Take a listen. Now, for my personal favorite, the shadow skeletons. These skeletons can be identified on the bounty sheet by their sparkling eyes. Very spooky. Now, as you can see, during the daytime, they are just as weak as a normal skeleton. Now, their ability comes in at night. These spooky skeletons become completely invulnerable at night. That is completely invincible. All you can see is their glowing purple eyes. Which leads us into their obvious weakness, light. That can come in the form of a lantern, daylight, or a flare shot up from a cannon, which I will show you in just a moment. But keep in mind, even after they are lit by a lantern, that only sets them on a timer of vulnerability. After a certain amount of time, they will become invulnerable again and will need to be reflashed. Now, as you can see, I fired a flare out of a cannon. Now, as I fire myself up, you'll see there's a circle of light. Any shadow skeleton within that circle will be vulnerable until it disappears. Next, we have our plant skeletons. They can be identified on a bounty map based on, as you can guess, plants. You'll notice that by any sort of leaves sticking off the skeleton, flowers, etc. You'll also notice they are practically the opposite of golden skeletons. They do have a strength against guns and a weakness against any bladed weapons, that is throwing knives and swords. For example, this double barrel pistol, along with the regular pistol, the blunderbuss, and the eye of reach, do little to no damage to the leaf skeletons. While any bladed weapons like the throwing daggers or the swords will do increased damage. As you can see, any throwing knife will be a one-shot, and any sword can practically kill it in 2 to 3 hits. Lastly, let's talk about their special ability. Anytime they are standing in water or in rainfall, they get intense health regeneration and have this ominous humming sound. Take a listen. Lastly, we have our regular skeletons. They can be identified on a map by not having any crowns, not having any plants, or any glowing eyes. As you would have guessed, they are very easy to dispatch. They have a weakness to pretty much every weapon and can be quickly dispatched by tridents and cannon fire. Now, for our brand new Sea of Thieves players, I encourage you to watch all of these tips and tricks videos because it will make your experience that much better. And for our experienced players, I encourage you to also subscribe and watch these videos because I guarantee there will be some facts that you are completely unaware of. Now, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching part 1 of this series. I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And as always, I hope to see you on the seas.